we have agreed that on Saturday, the employees are supposed to arrive at 9. So we have three options here on the setting working time for this work week. That is project default time. We have set days to non-working day. We have set days to these specific working times. So on Saturday, we are going to set it as a working day. At the same time, we are supposed to change the time. So you must select that option, the last option. John, are you able to do so?
Yes. Set days to this specific. Okay.
Yes. So that is 900 up to around 1.
Okay.
Or let's say they work up to 12. Some organizations like banks, they normally work up to 12.
So the time format, how did you key in yours?
Typing, just typing.
09.
0900 1200.
Okay. So
So then we can hit OK. So if you remember, or maybe let me take you back, and I want you to observe this column for is it Sunday? Sunday. Observe this column for Sunday. You'll find that it is more grayish. That is non-working day. Look at the key, the legend. How it means that is a working day. We have the gray, which means it is a non-working day. Where we have white with the calendar, it means that the working hours have already been edited, like Monday 2nd and 6th Friday. And also, where it is edited and it has a color, it means that is an exemption. For example, for our case, it has been edited and it has a color. That means it is an exemption. So we don't have this option. Okay, we don't change this option, but by default, that is the option that the system is supposed to be. So I want to go back before I do the setting for this day, that is on Saturday. I want to go back where we were. Don't want to hit OK. So I'll go back again because I want you to observe something here. Look at Saturday. So now, date 7, date 14, date 21, date 28, it means it is a non-working day. Date 1, date 8, date 15, date 22, date 29 is a non-working day according to the key. And because we want to let's even make Sunday a working day. Let's say our project has a very tight deadline in a way that we must work on Saturday and we must work on Sunday. So what are we going to do? So we change the working days. So we click work weeks and details. So from the details, number one, I want us to set these days to specific working hours. That is on Saturday. Saturday, I select that option. Then that option must be selected and you must select the day. So we have 9 or 0900, and this one we have 12. So we are going to put 12 here. We are assuming that these people are working from 9 up to 12. Then we hit OK. So you can be able to tell that 7th, 14th, 21st, 28th becomes now a working day. Has it changed from your end?
yeah. Did you say Saturday we make it from 9 to 12?
Yes, 9 to 12.
Let me just. When I hit OK. Set days to specific working times, right?
Yes, yes.
And I select Saturday.
Yes.
And I say, let me look at yours. My Saturday, first of all, my Sunday is not grayed out like yours.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday, the days are supposed to have a white background.
Yeah, because it's working day.
Yeah, it is working day.
I was saying for Sunday also,
Or
it's
for
yours
Sunday?
is gray, but mine is not. So maybe it's something I haven't done.
Okay, so yours is not gray.
Sunday, no.
That means you have Sunday is a working day according to your plan.
We might want to change that. Huh?
Yeah, that is what it means.
So I set it to.
There is no problem. I think
Mhm.
we can also make Sunday as a working day.
Maybe we make it an unworking so that I see how that happened.
Oh,
Maybe I
okay.
missed it
Oh, okay,
last.
okay, okay, okay. All right.
So I go to details or
We have work weeks and details.
okay.
So you want us to make it what? As a working
Oh,
day? A non-working day?
non-working. So I say set to non-working.
Yes, days to non-working. You select
Then
Sunday.
from. Uh-huh.
You select Sunday and you hit OK.
Oh, I don't need to put time
Yeah, you
from.
don't need to put time because the whole day
Oh,
they are not working.
we're there. We're there. It's grayed out, Kabisa. So
Mm.
that's okay.
So I want us to assume even Sundays we do work. Let's assume the project has too much pressure. It has tight deadlines. We must complete it.
Mhm.
So we can assume that even on Sunday we normally work. So what we do, we repeat the process again. That is not the exemption. We want to set work weeks. And there is an icon here or an option for details. We click it and we want to make it as a working day.
Yeah.
So once you select Sunday, you hit set the days to these specific working times.
Yeah.
And we can say that we normally work from, maybe we normally go to church, maybe after church, that is from 10, first service. So from 10, maybe we work up to 1.
Okay.
We work up to 1. That is 13. We are using 24-hour clock system.
Okay.
So we hit OK. So you can see that our calendar is very clear,
Yeah.
meaning that we are working, although we have what we call exemption. We
Mm.
have exemption that is on first is an exemption. You're able to see that on first there is exemption. There is also other exemptions. For example, this is May. Mm, Let me go back to June. So you can also see that even in June we have 2 exemptions. We have date 2 and we have 6th, which is on Friday.
Yeah.
Let's check July. We don't have exemption in July. September, December, we don't have exemption. So we can go back to where we were, then we can maybe hit OK. So you can see even the schedule has already changed because we are working on Sundays. So we are there full time. So that is it. I don't think there is anything else we are supposed to do there. Any question on this?
Not on my end. I'm okay.
Yeah. I think for me,
Okay.
Francis was. You remember we tried to make the M&E manager
The
not
standard
appear on
calendar.
Sundays. Huh? That one, I think something was off. Did we?
Okay, all right. So we can repeat the process.
Okay. Thank you.
Probably we don't want to use what you call a base calendar. A base calendar is the standard calendar, and maybe we don't want to use our standard calendar, or maybe we have the project team. We can make it their own calendar. For example, the M&E. So if you look at this calendar, it is telling us the M&E will not be there on the 13th. Let me place my cursor there. That is no, not that this M&E will not be available. M&E will be available on 13th. That will be on 13th June. That is when the M&E will be available. Higher. If we go back again, we select, for example, the calendar for, let's say, the crack. The crack. We can maybe create a calendar for the crack, and we can, if you want to make a copy from this, we can. But because we don't want to make a copy, we can create a new calendar. You know, this program, instead of what can I say now? When you create, for example, a calendar, when you say that you not be available in the site, what does it mean? It's like you have your own calendar that on that particular day you not be available. But where can you indicate it? You can only create a calendar within this calendar, such that the system can detect that on this particular day this person will not be available. If you want to create a completely new calendar, we can do that. We can create a completely new calendar for that. Let me go back again, change working time, and we create a new calendar. Let's say we don't want to use our standard calendar, which normally say that we are supposed to arrive at 8 and leave at 5 and have lunch at 12. So we can create that new base calendar here. We don't want to make a copy. We can call it our, let's call it our new calendar. New calendar. I have started this calendar again. So we have a new calendar. So I will not be focusing on the base calendar, which is our standard calendar. So I can create a new calendar there. So if I create, for example, new calendar, it means I'll not be able to use the base calendar, the standard calendar, which says I should go to work at 8 and leave at 5. So that is number one. Remember, we have three types of calendar. We have night shift, we have 24 hours, and we have now the standard calendar. If you don't want to follow the standard calendar, you can create your own calendar. But now, here we want to create a calendar for any of our employees who will not be available on a particular day. So I click, for example, let me pick our photographer here. Our photographer is using our normal calendar, which means this person will be available on, will work from 8 up to 5. So if I want to add an exemption for my photographer, let's say this person will not be available on this particular day. Now you can select that day for this photographer. You can come here and indicate, maybe I'll be off, it will be an off day, it will be an off day for this person, photographer. Remember, the base calendar is the standard, but we are editing the calendar for photographer. So we want to create an exemption for this person that on, let's say on June 25th, this person will not be exemption day off or off day for photographer. So I hit that. So if I go back again to the calendar, let's say that is June 25th. So if I select, for example, the photographer, it will be able to show me that on 25th, the photographer will be off. This one here. It's an exemption day, which is displaying clearly the off day for the photographer. If I want to maybe select the calendar for team, the calendar itself is for the team, not the standard calendar for everybody, but for the. So if I select, for example, here the standard, where is it? The standard calendar. Here is our standard calendar now. Yeah, the standard project calendar. If I select this, it will affect the entire schedule. But because I don't want to affect the entire schedule, I'll pick the specific person who will not be available. For example, admin. So I create an exemption for an admin. Or maybe I can select this option. this option, but you find that this option may not work here, because if you select work weeks, you have to select the details here. Let's put it at that point. So we have admin assistant here, and we want to say, for example, on Monday, or on Mondays, the assistant admin doesn't work on Mondays, or maybe assistant admin is a 70-day person. So we can set this as a non-working day for admin assistant. We have very specific case for admin assistant, so we can hit OK. Then we hit OK like that. So if we go back again, you select the assistant admin, you'll be able to see that her calendar or his calendar is gray. That means this person does not work on Saturday. If you want to add an exemption and say that this exemption for admin, let's say admin, let's say committed somewhere, committed, let's say committed in committed, let's write committed like that. So our admin will be committed on maybe on 24th up to 20, maybe up to 26th like that. Then I hit OK. So what I have done, I have created a calendar for them. So admin, let's check, not the crack, let's check the admin, assistant admin. So if you look at the assistant admin on 24th, 25th, 26th is what? Is an exemption for this particular person. This person is committed on this particular day. And it is based on the standard calendar. If you want to create a calendar, a new calendar for this person, you can maybe create a new calendar if you don't want it to affect other people. But of course, it will have to affect other people, because if you're not available, that means your work will stop on that day. I don't know whether you have gotten the concept.
Yeah, it's okay. I've gotten that you're able to have specific calendars for specific people away from the normal.
Yes, the normal calendar, yes.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so I think we are good with that tab. The other tab is, I don't want to hit resource first. Let's focus on what you call the Gantt chart format. I want us to look at what we have here. I'll not focus on the layout and guideline and so forth. I'll focus on this particular part here. This one, we agreed you can just change whatever the visual that you want. You can just select it and it will appear on this far end here. So the Gantt chart will appear on this far end. You can add the rank the way you want. So it is there, around there. So you can scroll like that so that you can be able to see how the Gantt chart is. So I want us to focus on the project summary, the outline number. Then we go back to this particular style, I mean the bar style group. So if I unselect this, I want you to observe what is happening on the screen. I am in the Gantt chart format, and I'm in what you call the show and hide group. So if I select summary task, if I unselect, you are not able to say which is a phase and which one is not a phase. So all the activities are listed when you don't show summary tasks. I don't know whether you're able to see the difference.
Yeah, so when the summary tasks is highlighted,
You'll be able to see the
the
faces, right?
faces are there.
And this is very, very important, especially when you have meetings. Summary task is very, very important because you may not have enough time to calculate the days here for those projects that normally take too much time. For example, you can have a project that will take even 15 days, 30 days, 50 days, 100 days, and even so. So this summary is meant to help you to give a quick overview of the cost of your project and even the duration of the phases. It's a quick summary for you to be able to explain to the team or maybe to present. The other point is this one. We are calling it the project summary. So once you select the project summary, what is happening? I don't know whether you're able to see the difference. Can you see the difference?
What's the difference? Just click that again.
Mhm,
Project summary. So now we have clicked it.
mhm.
And check it.
Mm-hmm.
No. You can see there's some movement, but all information still seems to be the same.
You
Whether
don't
on
see
the
any
Gantt
difference.
side.
You can't see any difference. Let me show you where the difference is coming from.
Mhm.
I want you to focus on the WBS
Maybe that's right. Okay, go
here.
ahead. Mm.
I want you to focus on this part because assume you didn't have number one. Let me assume we didn't have number one. Uh, Let me not delete it because it might bring a lot of discrepancies. I
Mm.
wanted to assume that we don't have or we didn't mention community awareness as what? As our, or we didn't make it as a project.
Maybe Fahima wants to mute.
Faima, you can mute. Okay, so I wanted to delete this. So you want to tell the team that the entire project will take how many days. So this one is simply to give you, you see this one is summary task. So it will give you a summary of the tasks, only task or activities. But this one, don't focus on the task, it will focus on the project, this one. Let me highlight this point so that you can be able to see. Can you see where my arrow is? So I want to go to the format again and I select this part here. Can you see something appearing on top of my yellow color, which was not there?
Yeah.
So this means it is giving you a summary of the project. Although you have a summary here, I normally assume that you didn't have a summary. So it will simply give you a summary. Let me try to delete this. Let me try to delete this. I don't care whether we have, oh, it has deleted everything because I don't know whether I can be able to recover that. I don't want to save it. That is too risky. Let me check whether I can be able to recover my exercise. Oh yeah, it is there. So this one is just basically the summary of the project. So if you didn't have this, then it can give you at this point. We can just have it like that. We can have them, all of them checked. Then there is outline number. This time I want you to focus. I want you to focus on this part here. Let me unselect that. Can you see what is happening?
Yeah.
So
The
it
number.
is adding now the numbers, isn't it?
Mm.
It's like now this is what you call, it's like it is adding what you call the numbering, because this is for the WBS. So you don't need this when you're implementing your project. You really don't need this if you have a WBS. Why would you need 1.1.3 whereas the need assessment survey has 1.1.3 again? You don't need it. So you can unselect it like that. I want to assume that we didn't have the WBS. Let me hide the WBS. I don't know whether yes. Let me try to hide the WBS. And we put our numbering now. Assume we didn't have the WBS. So you see now it is also giving you its own numbering, right? So I go back to where I was. That is my WBS. Have you seen what has happened?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So that is numbering. There is nothing much. We have what we call the task slippage. What do we mean by task slippage? So in project management, task slippage is like where you delay an activity. Or for example, if this activity was supposed to be, it was supposed to take 2 days or one day, you decide that after kickoff has already been completed, you delay this activity by 2 days. Originally, it was supposed to start immediately after completing this. So 3 page, you can delay it. There is like something we call a deviation from now the original what? The original plan or the timeline. So if you are supposed to take 2 days here and along the way there is what you call risks, maybe you fail to maybe have an engagement or engagement and mobilization. So you may end up deviating. So the plan might take too much time as compared to what you had planned. And this is where now the slippage comes in. So to avoid this, we normally set what you call the baseline. And remember, we had already set the baseline up to baseline number. We actually picked the main baseline or default baseline. So we last save the baseline on Tuesday. So it can tell us or it can indicate when we have what? The slippage. When you are reporting, you can be able to see whether you are within you are progressing on well, or maybe you are not progressing well. So this is the baseline. It is the standard for measurement for measuring where you are against where you started. So nothing more about task slippage because we had already set the baseline. We talked about the baseline last time, so we don't need to talk more about the baseline because this is the point of comparison, where you started against where you are. Task path, nothing much about this because it's talking about what you call the predecessors, maybe of any task. There is what you call now uh, the driving predecessors. So the driving predecessors normally, for example, may affect this particular specific task might be affected. For example, if I put here, let's say this is task ID number 4, then it is directly affected by the immediate activity which is supposed to follow. So we may refer number 4 as what? As a driving predecessor because it is affecting directly this task that so was supposed to maybe to bring some changes and so forth. There is something we call the critical tasks. The critical tasks in project management are not simply the what you call the important tasks, no, but the critical tasks are those tasks that can delay your project. And we know when we are doing a planning manually without a system, there is a way we normally show using a technique, or and I believe you must have come across that technique that is called the critical path method, and we have what you call the PAT. I mean the project evaluation and review technique. You must have come across those two types of techniques, especially if you have done statistics. It's also taught in statistics. John, have you ever come across PAT and CPM?
Yes, I've come across them.
PAT and CPM. Now, the critical. I don't know whether maybe when you are learning, you are told that the critical is the longest, the longest path that the project will take to complete. Fahima, critical tasks. Like
Yes, mommy.
now, maybe we can check from the system. I don't know whether the system will be able to show us here. Supposed to indicate here. Let me change the color of the Gantt chart to see whether it will be able to show me. I want a more brighter color like that. Then I want to check from my Gantt chart. I want you to observe the Gantt chart and tell me whether there is anything that will change. Is there anything happening on the Gantt chart really? Let me try to minimize this. Let's try to observe our Gantt chart and see whether to bring anything. Is there anything happening? You may not be able to see it,
Mhm.
but we are going to select it and check when we are doing reporting whether we'll be able to see the critical tasks
Okay.
in the key. Because like when we say that we want to print, uh, let's see whether, I don't know whether I can be able to maximize this. I want to check whether the critical, you see from the key there is critical from the key. From the key we have critical, but when you look at our Gantt chart, it is not appearing. You know, it's supposed to appear
Mm.
on this side. It's supposed to appear somewhere. This is color, I think
Like
that
reddish.
is maroon or whatever. But if you look at our, so if you look at our bar here, it's not bringing those critical tasks. It's supposed to show us. Let's try to check Slack. I don't know. Have you ever come across the word Slack?
Yeah, the term is familiar.
Mhm.
Slack.
So Slack in a project, or when you are running project, you normally talk about Slack. So if I can delay, for example, need assessment without affecting the next phase, that's better. That is what Slack normally say. That I can delay a task without affecting, without affecting maybe the subsequent task. For example, I can delay training, program design, scheduling without maybe affecting. I can delay this with hours without maybe affecting this. So if I check this, I want you to observe because it normally appears on this particular Gantt chart here. So if I select this, I want you to tell me whether you can be able to see anything happening. Are you able to observe something?
Yes, at the execution phase.
There's something that is happening. So let's see how many days we can delay our task. Let me first of all select this and select that. Let me try to use a different color and see whether you'll be able to see it. Now it's visible. The black lines
Mm.
appearing like that. So when you put that on, that is Slack, it means that the execution phase, let's look at another phase. Let me check again. For example, this activity here, which is group simulation, let me adjust it a little bit. You see where it is starting here. So it is starting here, that is simulation and practical session. It is telling us we can delay this activity. It can be delayed with how many days? You can be able to read from this point here. This around Wednesday. There is up to this point here on Sunday. So that is 13th July. Can you see I'm reading the timeline here?
Mhm.
This part here, across,
Yeah.
somewhere here, it's around there, here, up to this point here, around 31st August. So you can be able to delay without basically affecting that, the subsequent activity. Let's check whether there is another one that we can delay. We are only given one phase that we can delay, that is execution phase.
Mm.
I am not able to see any other. Let me try to check this. Or even this one we can delay it. Like this one there is what? We can delay it with around 2 days. Or I think it's a day. Actually a day. Because it is just a day here. That is it Thursday? No, Tuesday and Wednesday. Actually, it is between Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah. And the
That is
closing phase.
0.5.
What is happening there in the closing phase?
Let me check.
Why something is. There's a line.
Yes, even closing phase. Let's see what is happening here. But then, how can you delay closing phase yet
Mm.
you have already completed the project?
So I have lines coming up at
That is from
the
which one?
final report and compilation and
Post
submission.
implementation. Oh yeah, it's because the reason why it is appearing. It's because we embedded a project here. If you can remember, there is a sub project
Oh,
that we brought here.
yeah.
That's why it's bringing it's saying that we can delay this.
Mm.
And it can take too much time or all the way to finish because this has already been completed. It's already completed, this project.
Yeah.
Um, Late tasks, you can check late tasks. Those are obvious. Sometimes you made some tasks may be late, maybe due to maybe delivery of materials and so forth. And I don't know whether we can be able to observe them as well. Maybe we can only observe them from reporting. Let's just keep them the way they are, such
Yeah.
that we check when we are reporting. I don't think there is anything else under Gantt chart. For the custom fields, columns, layout.
Mm. So what I have,
Mhm.
if I check the critical tasks,
Yes. What do you see?
something happens.
Mhm.
The colors change for, just hold on, critical tasks.
Mhm.
For stakeholder engagement and mobilization, for needs assessment,
Mm-hmm. There's something that is changing there.
where the bar colors change.
It's actually supposed to change
Mm.
to show you where the critical task is clearly. Yours, you are able to see it clearly.
I'm able to see,
Mhm.
but shouldn't it take me to the closing face also? It's just ending at 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 the planning phase.
So let me connect at the planning phase.
Mm. So my critical path is only at the initiation and planning phase.
So
I thought
meaning
I thought
that
it should go all the way to the finish.
what if you adjust the bar, the Gantt chart, and you see the slider, try to adjust and see whether you'll be able to see any other critical task, because I think we have more than one critical task.
I adjust it at where at the
Here, here.
let
You
me
adjust
count
your
it.
column, you
Oh
adjust
yeah,
your
to
column,
make it. Yeah.
and you try to play around with this.
Hmm. Yeah, it seems to just be ending there.
That is which phase? Planning phase.
Just the initial phase and planning phase, and then it ends.
But according to you, do you think that planning phase is the
No,
most critical?
no. It's not the most, could be part of the critical part, but I think it should go all the way to the end. Eh?
Hmm.
Yeah, so maybe there's something there that.
I feel planning phase is the most critical
Mm,
because it is the one that will take the longest duration to complete. If you look at initiation phase, it is taking only 5 days. According to my plan, it is taking 5 days. Planning phase is taking 6 days, which is the
6 days. Yeah,
longest.
yeah,
Execution is taking 3 days.
3 days.
Monitoring
Yeah,
and control is taking 1 day. Closure is taking 4. So I think your program is right.
yeah.
Let me try to check mine.
Mm.
Mine is giving me execution fee. Let me check. Actually, mine is not giving me. It's actually giving me opposite of what is supposed to be.
What's supposed to be critical? Huh?
Yes, because yours, if yours is reading planning is the most critical, then that
Yeah,
is true because critical normally take the longest duration.
takes
And
the
you see,
longest is six
yeah,
days.
and you
Yeah.
see, like planning is taking 6 days,
Mm.
but mine is telling me otherwise. It's telling me that execution is the one with the longest. That is training is taking day one, day two is taking 1 day.
Yeah.
I find out where mine is being in that error from because yours is okay.
Okay, so I'll just save it.
Yeah, you save it. Yours is fine.
Okay.
So the remaining tab is the resource tab and now the report tab.
Okay.
These are the two tabs that are remaining
Mm.
so that we can move to the next program. And this one can also take a lesson as well because it has a lot. We need also to customize reports. Resources doesn't have a lot because this is leveling. So we'll talk about leveling in our next lesson. And we try to create some discrepancies here so that we can be able to try to level off and see whether the system will be able to solve such kind of problem. Because when you over allocate like community liaison, you are giving this person more than they can be able to handle. That is where now the leveling comes in to solve such kind of problem. So I think in our next lesson we can look at the source tab and also the report. Then we can move to the next program.
Okay.
So